I want to make this last video about advocating for yourself. I have met a lot of people in my travels who have had mystery anemia. Nobody could tell them where the blood was coming or going or where it was exiting. It was just disappearing, as if somebody was just vampiring it out of you in the middle of the night. And even though I have stopped bleeding after the surgery, of which they found my stomach up here fused to my lung and my heart, and it took 3 hours to disconnect that, pull it back down. Most of my entire diaphragm was split open and everything was just going in and out of there. So you just have to keep fighting and praying and try to find a doctor who's, one, going to listen to you, and two, will do something about things. Now, I can't tell you how many probes, cameras, etc. I've swallowed. I really thought a lot of these doctors were really great. They were just doing internal exams, going in and out of your intestines, but they can't see outside of your intestines. They can't see inside your peritoneal cavity. Peritoneal, you know, the cavity where all your innards are stuffed. Let's make it simple. They can't see that. Unless they do a CAT scan or they do an MRI, and then, in which case I had one in 2012, and there it is. There's my stomach sitting on top of my lung. You would think somebody with half a degree that didn't come out of a Cracker Jack box would have said, oh, and you know, maybe if you get your stomach off from your lungs and your heart, you might stop bleeding, instead of saying, I recommend you take some antacids. I didn't have very much acid reflux. If I had spaghetti or I had pizza or I had something that was acidic at 8 o'clock at night, which I know better, yeah, it would come up for a second vote. But listen, people, if you find your way to any of my videos and you see what I've gone through, all the blood transfusions, 8 doctors, internists, blood doctors, you name it. It took 10 years for me to get fixed. And, you know, there's a lot of people that just aren't wired right inside, and they don't know it. And you can bleed internally, and your body can reabsorb that blood. I think that's where mine went. I mean, to this day, nobody knows where pint after pint after pint of blood vanished in 1 week's time. There was no exit. There was no point of bleeding. Nobody could find that either. But it stopped because I did have the surgery, and I thought that was a good idea to get that fixed. Even when my doctor looked at that CAT scan, the oncologist, never said, hematologist, they're both the same thing. Both, they work as an oncologist and hematologist. But nobody said the stomach was sitting up there. She just said my stomach was all squashed and funky and, you know, maybe I ought to have it fixed. The seriousness of the problem needs to be addressed, and you need to advocate for yourself. You need to get down, get somebody to read, get copies of every single thing you've ever had done to you. Find a way to look at them yourself, and find somebody else that may know how to look at them. Haul your records everywhere you can, and try to find somebody that knows how to look at something and say, yes, there's your stomach, there's your heart, there's your lung. Learn, get a book. Grey's Anatomy, great book, huge thick book. Make War and Peace jealous. Look and see where your internal organs are supposed to be. Study your own x-rays, your own CAT scans. Everybody can figure out where a stomach should be, where a kidney should be, where a liver should be. Because if you're bleeding internally, you need to know it's like having a car. If your car has a problem, you don't want to just randomly drag its tires off to the car repair guy and get screwed. You want to kind of know what's wrong with your car and say, well, this is what I think is wrong with my car. because you did a little car studying, you researched a little bit. Anyway, advocate for yourself. I am heading off. This is my last Anemic Firefly video. I'm switching this channel over to my next one, which is Oregon or Bus Grandma, where I am going to travel in my camper, which is right there. And I am going to try and go see my grandchildren who grew up without me, because I've been bleeding to death internally for 10 years. And I'm going to try and make it to Oregon in September and go see my family. I haven't seen my daughter, my grandchildren, or anybody in 10 years. Just my son, who's been taking care of me. Thank God I have. I couldn't have gotten through this without him. And he has autism, so go figure. God blesses us in very unusual ways. You have to be ready to accept and recognize that you are getting a blessing. And so I hope whoever sees this can get some sort of an idea of what to do, how to go about it. If I haven't been really clear, I'm sorry, but I tried hard to share this part of my life, which has been very difficult. And now I hope it's over. I do have one more CAT scan to go through because they saw a little white nodules inside the left lung. Yeah, it's been glued to my stomach and squashed. The most painful part of my surgery was trying to reinflate that lung. It felt like a hot nail was going through my chest. And it's right next to my heart, so I didn't know if I was having a heart attack or what was going on, but it finally unstuck itself, and I'm still working on getting it inflated. But I'm going to go and make sure everything is okay. I don't like CAT scans because the amount of radiation that's going through you takes 2 days before a radiation detector won't pick it up. That's a lot of radiation. You know, it's like standing in Chernobyl or something. Scary shit, but excuse me. At any rate, goodbye. And if you want to follow me on Oregon or Bus Grandma, I haven't posted any videos there yet. I'm going to do some maintenance videos on how to prepare your camper for a long trip. So, good luck. Advocate for yourself. Find good doctors, and if that doctor doesn't help, find somebody else. It's possible to get help. It's hard, but it's not impossible. Okay, God bless you all. I hope you find the help that I did. And that's that. Thanks for watching, if you've watched. And if you don't, this is a record for my kids to see what I've been through. Just to stay alive for both of them. And my grandchildren. That's what kept me going. Love is what kept me going. And I love all of you. And I hope I've helped you somehow through this. Bye-bye.